Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Eric Eichhoff, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Director of Alumni Operations at John Carroll University. We are so glad that you are with us today. Over the past 2 years, our team in the Office of Alumni Relations and the John Carroll University Alumni Association has developed a number of programs in the spirit of lifelong learning, including our Alumni Continuing Education Series, better known as ACES, the Alumni Author Series, God in All Things, and today's program, the Alumni Spotlight, to keep our alumni and friends connected to our university. Today's program is hosted by the John Carroll University WMN, Women's Mentoring and Network Affinity Group, the JCU Alumni Association, and our team in the Office of Alumni Relations. And we will focus our Alumni Spotlight on Josie Miller from the John Carroll University class of 2017. Before I introduce Josie, I'd like to provide you with a few housekeeping updates. I encourage you to view the program in full screen mode, as it will enhance your viewing experience. After I introduce Josie, I will turn it over to her for some light movement exercises, and then we will begin our conversation. Please ensure that you stay muted through the duration of the program, utilizing the chat feature for your questions. I will ask those on your behalf after our moderated conversation. Thank you. It is now my honor to introduce today's featured guest, Josie Miller. Josie, from the class of 2017, is a wellness professional that specializes in women's fitness and interior design. She believes that the body and home go hand in hand. One's body is affected by his or her living situation. As a fitness coach, Josie's philosophy emphasizes the importance of knowing and understanding her client's lifestyle to provide proper support, accountability, and motivation. Her goal is to help women find movement in their day in a way that builds confidence and feels sustainable. Her coaching program goes beyond the lifting and lowering of weights to help women integrate movement into their lifestyles in a sustainable way. As a designer, Josie focuses on the importance of balance within the home. She believes combining the function of decor, natural light, purposeful setup can create a space for living a life of wellness. Josie holds a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics from John Carroll and an NASM CPT certified women's fitness specialist through NASM. She's a registered yoga instructor, RYT 200, and is bar certified. Please join me in welcoming Josie Miller. Josie, how are you doing this morning? The floor is yours.
Hi, thank you. I'm great. I'm so excited to be here with all of my JCU friends. So like Eric said, I specialize in women's fitness and interior design. And I believe they go as hand in hand as one might think fitness and nutrition, which we'll get into later. But I think we would start with some movement. Sound good? Yeah. So if you want, there's a Spotify link and an Apple Music link in the chat if you want to pull those up. If not, I'll have it playing in the background here, so you might be able to hear a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and get set up over here. So I'm going to put my computer here. And I actually set up in my kitchen just to show you. This is kind of my method. It helps to integrate it into your home. And with my home design, I like to create these spaces. So I'm in my kitchen right now, which is leading into my family room, and I have a perfect place. Can you see me okay from this angle? Yep. Okay, cool. Perfect place to set up a mat. And this is going to be one of my styles of workouts that is in my on-demand library. It takes some styles from yoga and bar, but also integrates sculpt type movements for a full body workout that gets your heart rate elevated and is quick. One thing to note, if you want to take part, I highly encourage taking your shoes off. I don't know if you can see I think you can see my feet. I highly encourage working out without shoes, unless of course you have some kind of issue with your feet, because those little foot muscles are very important and they don't get worked too often. So let's go ahead and get moving. And these movements are meant to be done during your busy work day, in between picking up the kids. You can do it like I'm wearing a sweater right now. You can do these in a sweater, in your jeans. And it's Super effective, yet easy. So let's go ahead and get to it. So I'm gonna count you down. We'll do the 3, 2, 1 trick. So we all try to be somewhat in sync with our playlist. I'm gonna go ahead and take my glasses off too. And take it at your own pace. If it's too fast, too slow, you know, speed it up, slow it down, do what you need. And here we go. So ready? Start your playlist in 3, 2, 1, here we go. All right, so we'll start out standing. If you have a mat set up, great. If not, just go on the floor. And we're gonna reach our arms above the head and then bend over towards the right, grabbing your left wrist. Coming through center, grabbing your right wrist, just warming up those side bodies. So we'll start just taking this side to side, reaching up through center, and then grabbing the left wrist, going maybe 1 inch deeper this time. Feel that big stretch. Inhale through center, grab your right wrist, bend over towards the left. One more time each side, reach up, bend over to the right. Second time, bend over to the left. Come on through center, reach both hands up, pinkies face inwards, and then cactus them, palms face forward, puff the chest open ever so slightly. Breathe in, reach the arms up, kind of round your spine a little, and then breathe out, cactus the arms, open up through those shoulders. Breathe in, reach the arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms open. One more time, reach the arms up. Exhale, just hinge forward, come into a forward fold. Let your body hang for just a moment. From here, put your hands down on the ground. Go ahead. Step your left toes back. Reach your right arm up. Right hand down. Left toes forward. Right leg back. Open the left arm. Left hand down. Right foot forward. Open the right arm. Right hand down. Left foot forward. Open the left. One more each side. Come through center. Open up. Last time, take it to center, left arm opens up. From here, take the left hand down, right foot forward, left leg back, straighten through the right leg. Bend in. Straighten. Bend in. One more time, straighten, keeping a soft bend in that right knee. Bend back in, switch feet, left toes come forward, right leg back. Slowly straighten, bend forward, and straighten, bend forward. Last time, straighten out, bend forward, forward fold, top of the mat. One more time, rise up, reach the arms up, and then come on down, plant the hands, step the feet back. We're gonna start to activate the core. So you're in a high plank position. If you need to drop to your knees and hold your body at a 45-degree angle, that is more than okay. Just start to engage through the core, pulling the belly button in towards the spine. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, crown of the head pressing forward, deep breath out. Drop to your knees, come into a table position. Breathe in, drop your belly. Exhale, tuck your chin, round through your spine. One more time, breathe in. Breathe out. Last time, breathe in. Breathe out. Back to center. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Slowly start to internally rotate your elbow creases so they face the wall in front of you. Maybe it's your computer. As soon as you do that, you probably piped your shoulders up towards your ears. Roll them down your spine and then start to hug the belly button in towards your spine. Feel that core engagement, feel the upper body engagement. Push ever so slightly into the heel of the palms where the palms kind of meet your wrist creases. And then push outwards on the ground or your mat. Feel the outer shoulder start to fire. Maybe you tuck the toes under and lift the knees just to hover. Feel that core. Come into a downward facing dog. If you're not familiar, it's just hiking your hips up, sinking your heels down low. We're gonna warm up the hips right now. So bring your knees out open, nice and wide. Sink your butt down towards your heels, and then hinge forward towards a plank position. If you need to do this on your knees, you can do this on your knees. Just coming back towards a child's pose and then hinging forward and driving through the belly as you do so. If you can, keep your toes tucked and the knees hovering, and you're just shifting backwards and forwards. So it's kind of like coming to a hovering child's pose if you're familiar from yoga, and then coming into a plank position. Stay here for 3, 2, last 1. Come on back forward. Take it to a downward facing dog. Go ahead, step the right toes forward. From here, reach the arms forward long. You're in a lunge position. Left knee has a soft bend in it. Find your grounding. From here, get nice and steady in that right foot. We're gonna pulse the left leg in for 10, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center to a squat with the feet about hip distance apart. We're gonna pulse down, 10. Getting that heart rate elevated, 3, 2, 1. The right toes go back, pulse in, 10. Driving through those elbows, chest hovers to put a little extra weight on that front leg. 2, 1, pulse in center, 10. 5, 2, 1, left toes go back, pulse. Drive through those elbows, squeeze the belly button in towards your spine. 3, 2, 1, take it center, pulse down 10. 3, 2, 1, right toes go back, pulse. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I want you to come into a squat position. Feet are hip distance apart. I want you to look down and check in. Make sure your knees are stacked over your ankles. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. So my knees are stacked over my ankles. If you notice them going over your toes, come back a little more and stand up. So I'm only sinking down about 6 inches. My tailbone is tucked. I'm lifting an inch through my pelvis and then sinking my hips down an inch lower. I want you to exaggerate this movement. Press on the outer edges, so roll to the pinky toe edges of your feet. Press outwards on the feet. If you're on a mat, like you want to rip the mat into 2 pieces, side to side. Relax your feet down, pressing into the heel and ball mound of the foot. Lift through the arch, relax the toes down. From here, keep pushing outwards on the feet. You should feel your outer hips firing up and pulse. Nice and slow. Little motion. You might barely see me moving. And the engagement comes from pressing outwards on my feet. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, step the left toes back, coming into a lunge position. From here, make fists with your hands. We're not using weights, so we're gonna make fists. Squeeze your fists and squeeze your biceps. You might lose your balance. Squeeze your biceps as you do this. From here, keep your elbows in line with your shoulders. As you drop your left knee towards the mat, open up and then lift. 9. Keep breathing. Squeeze those biceps. So you don't need weights to feel the engagement. Last 3, 2, last 1. From here, bring your hands to your hips. Pull your right hip back. your left hip forward, lift the left hip up an inch, get nice and square, and then pulse down through the knees for 10. 5, 3, 2, 1. Step forward, find that squat position, pressing outwards on the feet, pulse for 10. Nice and slow. 4, 2, 1. Step the right toes back. Again, find that stance. This time, take the elbows nice and wide. Make those fists. Relax through the shoulders, but feel the engagement. Squeeze them down the spine from here. As we lower down, take the arms to goalpost, and then as you extend through the leg, press up, down. 7, 5, last 3, 2, last 1. Come on back forward to that squat position, pulse. 9, getting into those outer hips. 4, 3, 2, 1. Sink down into your hips. I want you to bring your hips essentially parallel to the ground, leaning back into your feet so those knees stay stacked. Lean down, 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 down. Come on all the way down onto your mat or onto the floor, however you are. From here, I want you to put your heels on the ground. Plant your hands behind you, fingertips facing forwards. If you need to keep one foot down, keep one foot down. If you can, raise both feet. Chest is lifted nice and bright towards the ceiling. We're gonna push the left leg out, pull it in. Right leg goes out, pull it in. Try to keep your shin that's lifted parallel to the ground. Again, if you need, you can have the non-moving leg down and just alternate. If you can, keep both legs raised. Nice and slow. It's 1, 2, 1, 2. Added challenge, lift the arms. Working into that center core. Every movement that I involve in my exercises starts in the core, starts in the belly. It's the part of the body that literally holds you up all day long, whether you're sitting or standing. So even in those lunge positions, we're leaning our torso forward so we have that core engagement. Stay here for 3, 2, last 1. Again, option to have the hands down or keep them lifted. You're in a boat pose. Take it low, leaning the torso back. Again, hands can be on the ground for extra support, and lift. If you have issues with your low back, I recommend keeping the hands on the ground, down, and up, down, up. One more down, hold, hold. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Smile, it helps. I know, this is no fun. Lift back up, hug your knees into your chest, roll over the legs, and then when you're ready, come back up to stand, come into your lunge position. From here, I want you to pull your right hip back, your left hip forward, find that nice grounding. So we're just mimicking the motions we've already done. Lift through your left hip ever so slightly. Option to keep the hands on the hips to keep that grounding, or bring them into heart center. We're gonna just take dips with our left knee, keeping a soft bend in the knee, but super slow. So I always start my workouts with cardio to elevate the heart rate, then we slow it down to get deep into the muscles. So we're gonna lower to the count of 4, super small, super controlled movement. So we lower, 4, 2, 1, lift, 2, 1, down, 2, 1, up. Focus on keeping that right knee stacked over the ankle, down, 2, 1, up, 2, 1, down, 2, 1, up, down, lift, down, up. We're gonna switch legs in 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch legs, left leg forward, right leg back. We go down, 3, 2, 1. The slower you go, the more controlled the movement. Again, hands can be on the hips to keep that nice alignment. Focus on pressing into the heel and ball mound of the left foot, lifting through the arch. Toes are relaxed. If you feel them gripping, just relax them on the floor. Lift, 4, 3, 2, 1, down, up, last 2, 2, 1, up, 2, 1. From here, come into that squat position. Feet about hips distance. Again, I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. Knees stacked over the ankles, pressing into the heel and ball mound of the feet. Toes are relaxed, lifting through the arch. Again, if you need to exaggerate it, roll to the pinky toe edges, push outwards on the feet. Keep that engagement as you relax the feet down. We're going to lower the hips down to the count of 4. Only 1 inch. Super small, super controlled movement. You may not even see me moving. Hands can be on hips or in prayer. So we drop. 4, 2, 1, lift. 4, 2, 1. Press outwards on those feet. Outer hips should be on fire at this point. 2, 1, up. 2, 1, down. Option if you want to add the arms, squeeze the elbows in towards the rib cage. As you lower, squeeze the fists, bring the arms down, kick them back like a little tricep kickback. And then as you lift, squeeze them so the forearms come parallel with the ground. Take it down. 2, 1, arms go back and up. Elbows need to be touching the rib cage. If I turn forward, you can see my arms are squeezing. Up. 2, 1, down. Lift. If you're feeling this in your low back, just squeeze the belly button in towards your spine a little tighter. And up. Take it down. Kick the arms back. Hold the arms back. Squeeze the arms in towards the elbows, in towards the rib cage. Pulse. Palms are facing down, making those fists. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Squeeze those triceps. 7, 5, 3, 2, 1. We're going to finish this off with a forearm plank. Come on down to your mat. One last core power move. Come onto your elbows, palms face up. Invite in the good energy. Toes can be tucked or knees can be down, holding the torso at a 45-degree angle. Hold that body steady, crown of the head pressing forward. Heels stacked over the toes. Squeeze the core. A plank is a plank no matter where you take it. Breathe in. Breathe out. I'm watching the time. Only a minute here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Hold it here. Hold it here. Keep squeezing. This is your final push. You can do it. The mind shuts down before the body physically has to. I promise. As long as you are not in pain, you can do this. You have 15 seconds. Stay here. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more big breath in. Big breath out. You're done in 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop to your knees. Come to a seated position or stay on your knees. Reach the arms up. Stretch it out for one little second. Great work. Hopefully you're awake now, right? Go ahead as we come back. If you want to stretch out in your chair, do what you need. So there you go. That's a little taste.
That was awesome, Josie. Thank you so much for doing that.
Thanks. That was fun. I'm sweaty. I'm warm.
Something you just said, I love the when you said your mind shuts down before your body does. I think that's, makes a lot of sense.
It does, as long as you're not in pain. Of course, if you're feeling pain or something, ease out of it, but your mind will literally tell you, you can't do this, but you can, I promise. I promise, and that's how you get stronger. It's when you get into those little moments when your body starts shaking, that's when the muscles build. Which is normally also when the mind shuts down. So it's kind of, simultaneous, but.
Makes sense. Well, yeah. One of the other things we want to do today was talk more about the Modern Girl method and how you came up with the concept and how it's going for you. So tell me a little bit more about it. How did you come up with the Modern Girl method, and tell us a bit about your company?
Sure. So it's the idea of wellness for the body and home, which a lot of times when you think about the body and your home or your living space, you're like, those are two separate realms. Okay. I look at them both as art forms. Design is an art form in itself. Movement is like an art form. No two, even people who are running, which is a pretty habitual movement. You move your arms, you move your legs. No two people run exactly the same. It's an art, essentially. So I want everyone on this call to think about nutrition and fitness. And why do you think they go together? Eric, maybe you can answer. Why do you think nutrition and fitness go together?
Probably because you need to have good stuff going in for your body to perform well.
Exactly. Okay. Right. So what you put into your body is equally as important as what is surrounding you. So think about natural light. It gives you energy. Think about plants. They give off fresh air. Think about if you live in a city where there's a lot of smog and just a lot of exhaust, you might end up with bad allergies. You might, if you're asthmatic, that might kick up your asthma. It's been found people that live close to power plants. I know there's been studies, I don't know if they've been definitive necessarily, but people that live close to power plants, a lot of times their health isn't as strong as people who live in wide open spaces. So your environment truly does affect your body just as much. And if you're having, say, lung issues due to your external environment, you're not going to be able to exercise as effectively. So that's why I believe the two go so hand in hand. With the actual method of fitness, I developed it out of a liking for yoga, but wanting a little more to it. I love yoga. I love the benefits of the mental health and the stretching aspects, but I also wanted a little more strength. So I found that if you up your heart rate and then slow it down and get into those slow twitch muscle fibers, you have a super effective workout that can be done in a small amount of time. Now, how does that kind of method tie into home design? Two different realms, once again. So the method can be done in any small space. You saw me do it on a yoga mat. That's a 6x3 set of space. As long as you have a 6x3 set of open space in your home, for some, that's a bathroom. You can do this, and you can have a set of weights close by, and it can be done with the right home setup. So that's kind of how I developed the method over time. I developed it out of a personal experience, a want for myself. I wanted guidance as to what was the right kind of movement for my body. And I also wanted guidance how to set up my home, because I know I've lived in spaces where the environment was not healthy due to mold. And I've lived in spaces where there just wasn't a good exercise setup. And it's hard. It's hard to live that way. So I developed these two methods of coaching and design out of wants for what I needed. So
Well, when we originally talked, and I apologize, my son is coming in. I'm getting
So is mine right here.
lots of
Yeah.
natural light here in Cleveland, which is ironic for winter. But
Yeah.
I know when we talked, I really appreciated the fact that you were trying to bring you know healthy living inside your home to people who need that and want it, as opposed to having to go to a gym or somewhere outside. Tell us a little bit more about how the people that you work with infuse your exercises and your lifestyle into kind of where they live.
Sure. So my coaching program is a 6-week type of program. It's one-on-one, and we work together to incorporate movement into your life in a way that feels good and sustainable to you. So let's be honest, we're busy, right? So the way my coaching program works is that we try to incorporate workouts that feel good to you and doable over a 6-week period. We meet once a week just to talk through what's life going on. Think of life coaching, but for fitness. And then I then create a schedule, which may or may not include my workouts. It may also include, say you want to do yoga on YouTube. We can include that. Say you do want to get out of the house and go to a studio once a week. That's more than okay. We incorporate that into your routine. But I also appreciate that people want the opportunity to be able to work out in their home if they have that busy lifestyle. So what we do when we create this schedule is create 2-hour windows kind of. And we say, okay, on Tuesday, between 2 and 4 o'clock, you're going to fit in this workout. And I know for me personally, even if I say I'm going to work out at home, half the time I'm like, once that time comes, it's like, well, I could do this. The dog's got to go out, all those other things that distract you at home. Where my role comes in is to message you during that time frame and be like, okay, you said you're going to do this. Let's get it in. And it's still on your time. Life happens. It's 30 minutes in a 2-hour, 3-hour period. So you have that wiggle room if a kid needs picked up last minute, but you can still do it in your home. And I design my workouts to be low impact, use only light weights. I was using fists today. If you don't have light weights at home, you can make fists. And I design my workouts in a way so they can be done in the home just like that. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it really does. I know you focus primarily on helping women create a healthier lifestyle. What are some easy steps that women can take if they want to help improve their health?
Sure. So honestly, we're on our computers all day. Half of us work from home. Sit on an exercise ball. It will work your core and you will build core strength just by sitting on an exercise ball. I created even what I call an email workout, where in between sending an email, get up and do 10 squats, send an email, do 10 push-ups. Just that up and down motion. I mean, if you send 10 emails, then you've done 10 reps of exercise right there, and it'll make a difference. Other ways involving like the home design, again, like I said, invite in the natural light. If you're in an apartment where you're like, I don't have much natural light, I have one window, set up a mirror opposite that window, and then the light's going to bounce off of it. Create open spaces. I always recommend having one clear wall to just keep the mind calm. Plants, especially in the workout area, to give that fresh air. I also recommend having your workout equipment readily available. If it's more readily available, you're more likely to do it. Think about, why do you like going to a gym or a studio? The equipment is all set up right there for you. If you don't have a, say, workout room, get baskets for your family room, put blankets in them. No one will know that there's weights under those blankets. There's ways to mask it, and you can then work out in front of the TV. Who doesn't want that, right?
Right.
So yeah, So those are just some simple little tips and tricks. Of course, there's the nutrition tricks and all that kind of stuff too. But I'm focusing on the body and home for now. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
So I know one of the things we love to do is talk with our alums about who are entrepreneurs. And John Carroll is very fortunate. We have a lot of entrepreneurs out there. Tell us what your experience has been like, because obviously starting a business during this last couple of years probably has had some challenges. Tell us about your entrepreneurial journey.
It's super fun. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's not easy. It takes the right type of person. I'm definitely a self-starter and a self-motivator, which helps. But it is hard. It's a lot of mindset work, which I didn't realize going in, but it's a lot of having a strong mentality and a good mindset behind your work, and believing that what you're doing is putting value into the world, even if you go a month without an inquiry. Starting out, you're starting from nothing. So it's a lot of mindset work. And I don't like to use the word hustle. Like, it's not necessarily a hustle, but you're thinking, you're living, you're breathing your business. And it's fun. It's definitely rewarding. The hardest part is the start, I think. I'm lucky and blessed. I've had so much support at home, which not everyone has. And I think that has been huge for me, honestly, to have that support to keep going. But if you're interested in entrepreneurship, I say take the plunge. Even if you started as a side gig, keep your full-time job and start it as a side gig. See what happens, why not? You'll never know unless you try. So
yeah, for sure. And it's interesting you say, you have to start, right? So that's probably what the biggest hurdle is not starting.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of great ideas, just don't go anywhere if you don't actually move on them.
Yeah, exactly.
So obviously we're coming out of hopefully coming out of a pretty difficult time in our world.
Mm-hmm.
How is your business model is so interesting because you're bringing it into people's homes when they maybe couldn't go out somewhere else to exercise and lead a healthier lifestyle. Tell us how COVID's impacted your own business model.
So it's honestly been a blessing because most of what I do is online. The one thing that's hard is now that studios are reopened, the on-demand for online fitness, because I do have an on-demand library that can be accessed just by anyone. So you don't necessarily have to go through my programming to access my on-demand library. People are more interested in going to studios, it seems now. I mean, some, of course, are still enjoying the home workouts for whatever reason. So that's the hard part coming out of it. But it is a blessing because so much is online. Like right now I'm working with a design client in California, which is so cool that I'm able to help design her space. And I will probably never physically be there, but there's so many virtual tools right now that make it doable. So honestly, I would say COVID's been a blessing in disguise. I like to look at things glass half full. So
that's a good mentality. That's a really good mentality. And I think especially over the last couple of years, finding those silver linings in a pretty dark time has been helpful for so many, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So where do you, knowing that things are kind of changing a little bit, going back, where do you see your business going over the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh, that's a good question. I go day by day. I mean, my dream would for it to be big, it to honestly help people. My dream would be for the outside community to view home design and your environment going as hand in hand as physical fitness and nutrition. That would be my dream. And my dream would be to be the catalyst of that kind of a concept. Now we'll see. I guess, like I said, I take things day by day. I view home as a place for self-care. So I would love for people to just understand that these little tweaks within your home, these little tweaks within your body, your movement, can really make a world of difference. So, we'll see. I would love to get into more group type programming. I would love to get into bigger projects. But it's hard to say. I go with the flow,
Yep.
So like home design, I recently added just because I've had so many people ask me to do it. Because we redesigned our entire house when we bought it. So it's one of those things that now I've had people ask, and it's been fun. So yeah, I guess 3 to 5 years, the big picture is for people to see the physical body being as affected by the environment as what you put in. That's the broad spectrum. The little details, they'll come,
With what we've talked a lot about fitness and whatnot. I want to go a little bit more into the home design, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So you gave us some tips of hiding weights and baskets under blankets.
Yeah.
What are some other things that people can do to surround themselves with a healthier lifestyle? I know you mentioned plants. Are there other things that people can do? Is it getting rid of clutter? Is it the way things are, where the couch is, like feng shui? What's your philosophy?
Yeah, I mean, you want it to just feel good to you. So make your kitchen more functional, like wherever your coffee pot is, put the mugs close by. Like little things that sometimes you don't even realize need to be changed, not need to be, but could be changed in your home, that it could help. Sometimes it just takes a second person to come in and be like, you know what, this would work. Make it comfortable. Like right behind me in my kitchen, I can turn my computer. I have a sitting area. People don't normally have a sitting area like that in their kitchen. But it's comfortable, it's functional. And when we entertain, it's great because there's extra seating, little things like that. I'm trying to think of, like, I'm looking right now, we have cute baskets, but the dog toys are stored in them. So you don't see the dog toys. The dogs can access them, but they look pleasing to the eye. They're not in a dog box or something like that. So I don't like to call it feng shui, because feng shui is a one-way path kind of a thing. It's my take on design is understanding the client and then helping design their home in a way that is conducive to their lifestyle. If they have little kids, they might want to have plates lower down so the kids can reach them if the kids are at the age where they can get their own snacks. It's little things like that. I love having mirrors because they bounce off the natural light. I love creating natural light. I think it gives the house so much more energy. I think decluttering is a great thing, and there's simple hacks that you can do to help declutter. Again, sometimes it just takes a second person to look at something and be like, and then you have that aha moment, like, oh yeah. Like, for example, one of my clients is in a tiny kitchen space, and they were like, where do I put my table, kind of a thing. And I was like, well, it's normally just 2 people eating, correct? Yes, but we entertain sometimes. Well, why don't they make folding tables, folding console tables. Mm-hmm. So it's like a console table that folds down on one end. So when they're not entertaining, it takes up barely any space, but when they are entertaining, it can be pulled out. So it's just little things like that can help your home life feel so much easier. Like I said, having the workout equipment in a readily available space, but tucked away in a cute way, So yeah, I think that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense in terms of feeling good about where, your own body, but also feeling good in your surroundings. Mm-hmm. And, I personally just thinking, I also feel like this could even extrapolate to the office as people are going back to work.
100%. And actually my workouts are designed to be done in the office too. So if you are not in a cubicle, because you might not want to work out in a cubicle,
Right.
but if you have your own office space, there's ways you can set it up where you can fit a 6x3 mat, or you don't even need a mat. You could just have a 6x3 open space as long as you set up your desk just so. And it doesn't have to be the most expensive pieces of design equipment or storage equipment. Like, we're on a budget. It's a matter of picking and choosing where you want to splurge and where you want to save. I love incorporating 2 sentimental pieces. I think that's just a side note, but I think that just brings a little warmth into the home. Like we were just talking about the pieces behind me.
Yeah.
Before this call, Eric and I were talking. The photos behind me are Cleveland and then our heritage sites. So it's just like having those little sentimental pieces really help too.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think so much of what you're talking about resonates with people. And I want to be able to let people know about how they can learn more about modern growth methods. So would you mind sharing how people can learn more?
Sure. So the best way to reach out is either through email or DM me on Instagram. And I'll put them both in the chat right now.
Great.
And I believe there's going to be a message sent out. Is that correct?
Yep. I will go ahead and send an email out to everyone who joined us today with your information too.
Yeah. And then the email address is Josie at Josephine Miller. So either of those are a great way to reach out, and you can reach out with just a question. Or if you're interested in one of the programs, if you're interested in either just the on-demand library, my coaching program, which again is customized completely to what you need, or the design services, which I have 2 packages listed on my website, but both of those can be customized down. I do everything from just decorating, like a refresh for spring, to an entire room redesign. So all of that's on the website, which I can also add that in the chat. And yeah, if anyone has any questions too, don't hesitate. Feel free to type them in.
While people are thinking of their questions, if anyone has any. One question, we didn't talk about, and I apologize for not saying this earlier. Tell me about your John Carroll experience. I mean, we're here because of John Carroll, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Tell me a bit about, your own personal John Carroll journey.
What a whirlwind. So I went in thinking I was going to be an accounting major. I grew up in Cleveland. The East Side is a completely different place, let me tell you. I grew up a West Sider. I played tennis there for a couple years. It was great. Freshman year, I lived in Campion Hall, and I still remember designing my room just so. And it took me so much time to arrange it just so and have the wall hangings look just right with all those command hooks. And oh my God, that was so fun. But it was great. I mean, it was so fun because I had friends from home, but then got to meet so many new people. So it was that comfort of home paired with a new experience, a new life. Like I said, I went as an accounting major, pivoted into being a math major, went and was a quantitative analyst right out of school, was not a fan, tried being a math teacher, enjoyed it, but didn't love it. There was always a drive in me to be an entrepreneur. And I still definitely use my math skills in everything that I do. Doing fitness is very logical. Design is very logical. It's about balance, both things. So I definitely use my degree. I've met so many people, made so many connections through the school. Gosh, I'm so grateful, and it's fun too that I'm in Lakewood now, and it's still close enough that we can drive there sometimes. And it's fun to see, the kids walking around, or maybe some of you are on this call, maybe I've seen you walking around at night and stuff. It's just fun. It's such a good energy, such a good place. I love my friends that I still have from there. You know, I'll be friends with them for life, which is really cool. It's really, it's unique. Not everyone gets that from college. So it's a really, words can't explain it, I guess.
Awesome. Well, I personally love the fact that you were accounting and then math, and then you decided you wanted to start your own, fitness and design business. That, I think, speaks so much to what a John Carroll education can deliver.
Seriously. Yeah. You're not, by all means, get your degree. I'm not saying don't get your degree. Get that degree. But you're not bound to exactly what you think your degree is going to lead you to. I still definitely use my degree. Definitely. The business skills, because I was a business minor, I need. The math skills, I need. My business, you would not think I was a math major. Business. So get that degree, but there are so many opportunities once you're done. It's really, it's so neat.
That's awesome. Well, someone just put this in the chat, and this is probably the best way to sum it all up. Constance says, love your method in creating service that helped you first and now can help others. Like John Carroll teaches us, cura personalis, educating the whole person. Your business really supports that same teaching in the home and wellness segment. So I think that really sums it up, in my opinion. Yeah. So Josie, thank you again so much for joining us today. We are grateful that you decided to spend an hour of your morning with us. I'm even more grateful that you're a member of our John Carroll community. Yeah, this was a blast. So thank you. And like I said, really feel free to reach out. It can be the smallest question. No question is silly. I love when people just reach out to say hi. So feel free. Awesome. Well, before we conclude, I'd like to share with all of you a few other opportunities to take advantage of this spring through our Office of Alumni Relations. We have a number of programs coming up in the month of February for you to enjoy, including a panel discussion on teaching through the pandemic, a program focusing on current trends in topics in human relations, and last but not least, a sneak peek into the future of engineering at John Carroll. Also, please mark your calendars for April 19th and April 20th as John Carroll celebrates our Founders Day and hosts its 4th annual Day of Giving. These programs bring members of our community together to celebrate all that makes John Carroll a special place and ensure that future generations have an impactful Carroll experience in the Jesuit tradition. You can find more information and register for all of our upcoming programs at jcu.edu/alumni. Additionally, we invite you to review recordings of our previous programs on the JCU Alumni Association YouTube channel. To view our extensive library, search John Carroll University Alumni on YouTube. Finally, please consider a charitable gift to John Carroll in support of our students, our faculty, and our entire campus community. If you have already made a gift this year, thank you for your generosity. If you have not, please join me in supporting John Carroll so that we can continue to deliver an outstanding education for our current and future Blue Streaks. To make a donation, please visit jcu.edu/give. Thank you again for joining us. Take care, be well, stay safe, and onward on John Carroll.